Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Books, and today we will be continuing on with our Super Smelter world. Now, as I do, I got distracted and we ended up naming a system called Arrakis and a planet called Dune at the end of the last episode. But from here, we're actually going to be making our way back to Big Brain and back to Earth to pick up some supplies for our continuing construction. Construction is the word I was looking for, that I just had a mental blank on. Our continuing construction of our super smelting planet. Now, as we discovered at the end of the last episode, we are actually short on titanium, which is really good that I had titanium on the list of things that I wanted to build. The other things being, of course, stone brick or concrete, as I've been calling it, as well as glass manufacturing. Now, I could also be doing titanium alloy here and other bits and pieces. I'm unsure about doing that. I think that's not really our point of our super smelter world. Really, it's base materials that I'm aiming this for, so that's what I'm going to stick with. So anything that I can go direct to without getting a complicated ingredient. Maybe steel is probably going to be the most complicated thing I do. Oh, this is far away. Am I pointing in the right direction still? Yep, I am. Good. And we're just going to slow down a little bit. Speed up for the final transition to orbit. Cool. But we're going to need to pick up parts again, is where we left off. But while I'm here, I might just see if my quantum chips are being built at a faster rate now than not really. I think that's a function of these guys not really being fully online still. That'll be a function of our titanium and glass not getting enough titanium. Yep. So we still got that as a roadblock. Oh, it did pick up supplies at the end of the last episode. Okay, that's good. We can go do stuff then. Cool. What we want to see now. I've just realised my chat is doing something weird here. Hello, OBS. That's alright, I'll keep lookout on chat in the stream manager instead then. Cool. Okay. Yep. Where am I going? What am I doing? I had a point of purpose and now I've forgotten. Oh yeah, I'm going to pick up some more antimatter and some warpers while I'm around. Also, it might be a good idea just to see how my warper factory is going. I've been sending out stuff a fair bit. Is this the warper factory? No. I don't know where I am or who I am. It's a mystery. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we got plenty. We got plenty. In fact, we just want to top up our local stocks a little bit. These are not a problem. Glass is something we definitely want to... You're going to remote demand this, buddy. And bring it in from elsewhere. What was the other thing I was after? Antimatter. I'll delete that. That's nasty belt. We don't want that. Those nasty belts. Get rid of these as well. Not really going to be using them. And by not really, I mean not at all. Antimatter fuel rods. So that's going to be up near our suns. They are. Gonna yoink a few off the line here. Yeah, 62. We'll drop these back in if we can. Nope. Yeah, it'll just be a fairly quick roll, relatively quickly. Okay. Oh yeah, we needed a mole upgrade. We need a mole upgrade to be able to produce small water pumps. So we can pump acid, not water, but you know, it's the same building. They're called water pumps. Ah. If you're getting weird pain noises from me today, it's because I've got a bit of a crick neck. It's kind of stiff shoulder muscles. I slept wrong or did it at the gym yesterday. I don't know. One of the two. Either way, it's painful. Yeah, so we had a few buildings we want to build in our mall as well. So those are, we want to do planar smelters at some point. But I also wanted to start producing water pumps. And water pumps take a little bit of different stuff. In particular, it needs green circuits, motors. I wonder if we can build it up here somewhere, because we've got motors here, we've got green circuits here, and then I just need iron and concrete. Yeah, let's see if we can build something here that will, for a start, we're going to get rid of that. And then we'll put this guy here. And then maybe a box for it here. Alright. So we can do that. Do that. Now we just need iron. And now we just need concrete, which is down here. So concrete's going to be the problematic one. But what I think I can do is quite possibly do a little bit of a splitter here. Help with the situation. Alright, so then when we grab that concrete, we bring it in. And we attach it back to its line. I don't mind that it's not proliferated. I don't need everything to be proliferated. It's certainly not my mole stuff. It's not really a huge requirement. We'll try and get that up a level. Can we run it through? Yeah, we can run it through here. Just kind of sneak it in here. And get it down a level. Yep. And then down another level here. And around the corner. Do that. And then that. In terms of how many I need, that's probably going to be doomy. And then you'll make water pumps. Oh, we need power. Power is always useful. Put it there. Oh! And while I'm sitting around here, let's upgrade those to be the mega super fast belts. Alright, that'll produce a number of water pumps for me for when I actually do want them again, which will be coming up. I want to make sure that my acid supply is a bit more secure than it currently is. And who knows, maybe we'll end up pumping another liquid from somewhere. I can't think of what other liquids we could pump from planets. Maybe we'll get a planet with an oil ocean, that'd be cool. Don't think so, but... or a petroleum ocean. I don't know, what kind of oceans are available? If anyone can shout out, the ones that I'm aware of are water and acid. Now, the other thing I wanted to build was planar smelters. Now, currently I don't have unipolar magnets being produced. Maybe pilers at some point I want to produce them, the old stackers. I've only used 2 of them so far in my playthrough. Maybe even the better storage boxes at some point, who knows? Or geothermal power stations. Oh yeah, actually, wireless power towers and satellite substations. They were on the list. So, thinking about this, my power power dudes are all the way down here, right? And then my next thing to make those wireless power things are just down here. So I've got to run a belt either way if I want to do this. And I'm thinking I will get it to go up here and then go back along. I know we're meant to be working on a smelter, but bear with me. There are some things that is just going to improve my quality of life later on. It's worth doing now. Level 4 because we've got that coming up over. Now where were those towers again? There. A box of them. Alright, what I'm thinking is I'll just yoink it out this way instead. And then we'll get down to base level here. Then we will need something to run like so. You'll be this. Therefore, I can tell you to grab a sorter output here. Input, input, output. And in terms of how many, few of them. Snip off the ends. Alright, so that gets us to these being created. Now the final recipe is we need frames and blue motors. So frames and as well as these things. So frames and blue motors are down here. We've got a blue motor chain and then we've got frames kind of running in to make these particle colliders, but I'm pretty sure we could wrap them off somewhere else. So that would just mean that we just need to get those wireless power towers running down there somehow on a belt, I'm thinking, rather than a logistics station. So on that basis, we're going to start with a belt here, get it up to level 2, and then go to here, and then we'll try and sneak it up. Be above these guys. Yep, we can do that. And then maybe up, down a level. I'm gonna run it to level 3 till here, so that way if I do need to sneak anything under it at some point, I can. Try and get it down to this level here. Yep, and then base level. Alright, this could work out well, actually. So if I put you like this, I can therefore get hopefully an input here. No. Run it around like that, and then should be able to get something in here. Yep, there we are. Then you're an in, you're an in. Right, you're going to be making satellite substations. And then we just need a box somewhere to output you to. That might actually be tricky. Yeah, alright. We can put it there. Put it there, pal. output onto a belt and input into a box. And again, this box doesn't need huge amounts of it. And we need some power. Drop it there, that'll get us everything we need. And we just need to output some of these guys. Beautiful! Now, of course, these blue things are not used to being used so much. So we might also want to just ramp up their output a little bit by upgrading the factories in question. Or upgrade that, upgrade that, upgrade that. You know, just do the normal bringing this into the new century, as it were. Yeah, those, whatever's producing these. Does it wrap around or something? I don't know. Alright, so that should upgrade a few things. Gonna leave me with a heap of T1 belts, I suspect. Yeah. There we are. Not nearly enough photons to really supply it. It's the speed that it should be at. But enough to keep it kind of going most of the time. Yeah, it's ticking over. That's good. And that means that we should start seeing some of these appear. Which of course, well, they're not more efficient because they have an idle consumption, but they do provide power in a much bigger radius. So at some point we'll probably start using them. And by some point I mean some point in the near future. So we'll grab 60 of them and we might start testing them out in today's episode. But from now, I think what we really need to do is shore up the supply of our titanium, and for that we need to head to Smelter and head to the smelter. The smelter at Smolder. Smoldering smelter. Here we are. And we can finish off the last bits here, which is great. We've got this massive diamond factory here. Occasionally it's, you know, set shipping stuff off, which is exactly what it should do. Now, I will give it some logistics vessels, and we needed some over here as well, I believe. Not that I'm expecting interstellar logistics to be coming in for those ones. And I think we need to do something with our copper dudes as well, from memory. Thought one only had 8 somewhere. We already topped it up somehow. Alright. Seems to be okay, so it looks legit. Must be legit, right? Alright. Ah, it's probably over here. Yep, so silicon. Yeah, you guys only have 8. There we are. Use some other ones out. Okay, so the next thing is going to be titanium. So to produce titanium, we need 2 every 2 seconds to produce 1. So it's going to be very much similar to the silicon here, where we can have rows of 30, but it's only going to output rows of 15. More's the pity. So the next thing that we're going to do is work out where to place it. So this kind of bit here is all chonked up by miners. So I'm thinking we're going to put it just below these guys here instead. There will not be neat patterns on Smelter. It will be patterns, just not neat ones. Each one of these will form a blueprint, basically, is what we're looking to do. Logistics is where we start, just so that we've got enough space to sneak our logistics in. Are we there? And then we'll wander up to the sort of tropic line here. Now it's very important that we don't go over or build on top of the tropic line, because otherwise it just doesn't copy down the rung very well. Do it there. Oh, autosave. Ah! There we go. Autosave makes it think. Alright, we're going to follow our standard operating procedure here. And drop these in. Now I'm thinking about using substations as well. You know, try out the new material. They take a bit of space. I think if I'm doing it by rungs, then this is not how I want to do it either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm wondering if you didn't exist, alright, and we put you in there, would you power everything? No. Could we do it like, sort of like this? Did I really count 15? Is what I'm wondering at the moment. Or was that the 15th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I killed the 15th. So if I had a satellite star one, this middle one would miss out on power. Don't think it'll work in the way they want to, so sadly the Tesla towers are going to be here to stay for the time being, on these patterns anyway. If anyone else has got ideas on that, let me know. Always happy to hear them. But I think those towers might just end up being used in more manufacturing sort of things. Because what we can do with power of this one is just run it along like this, and then we can copy paste the rungs down and everything ends up being powered. It's very cheap to build. You know, there's not really much downside here, or any downside really. Apart from I have to click a few more times to place it all, which is, you know, neither here nor there. Now the top will function as our inputs and the bottom as our outputs. We'll go to items and we'll choose titanium. Titanium from the options. Alright, we have a completed thing that we can copy paste now. We'll go to the blueprint mode. We will grab these and then just use it straight away. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going with patterns of 8. Possibly could do 9 because there's, you know, 9 side sort of interfaces and that sort of thing. But yeah, we started with 8 for some reason, and I'm going to keep that pattern. Besides, I think logistic stations will eventually find it really hard to keep up if I'm not careful. So put it in as close as possible. Something I have learned. Yeah, now you are going to demand this stuff. Local demand, remote demand. And you're also going to want warpers. Ooh, nearly did it. Now local demand, remote storage. We'll give you some drones. And some interstellar transports. And your output's going to be titanium, of course. Cool. Now you are going to take the finished product. Remote supply, you'll also need some warpers. Local demand, remote storage, you're going to just supply for all that, and we'll give you some dudes to fly around. And now we have titanium being smelted on this planet as well. As you can tell, it's taken up a lot of titanium, more in fact than we can currently supply. A little bit surprising, really. I would have thought we would have had enough mines on the planet for titanium, given that we've only got 1.8 mil. Yeah, that makes sense. Both down here, they're fair way away. What are you doing? Yeah, get to 300% output, guys. You're in high demand. .8, and that's a vein of 1.8. Yep. Here I was thinking that we had more titanium locally on that planet, but maybe we need to go over to Smelter and build a mine or two. I don't think I've got really any power sources on me, so it's going to be a couple of solar power panels and that's it. Could export the power. Do I have batteries? How many batteries have I got on me? 110 batteries. Not much. Oh, that needs power. Certainly that titanium is in demand. I just had a thought. The thing that demands titanium, I really hope it has warpers available to it. Because otherwise, we will have some very, very slow transports between here and Big Brain. It doesn't look like it, that I've made that mistake. Yeah, I think we're good. Alright. Cool. Alright. We got some stuff happening. Now that that part is being done, let's make another factory. I'm still thinking about this. I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, yeah, that's what we'll want to do. We'll do a power exchange program. It won't be amazing, but it will be functional. Don't want to do it off that though. We'll put in another logistics station. Hell, we'll do it at the other side of the planet too. North Pole can be generation of power, South Pole can be export of power. So I don't get confused, I think is going to be the main reason. Alright, so you're not an orbital collector, you're not going to require warpers, you're going to say, oh, transport at range of vessels a light year. And 10% will be 100 batteries. So I really need to keep it at 1%, which would be not much at all, but okay. What I can do though to limit this sort of going back and forth with just tiny loads is maybe just give it 2 of these. And then your building's going to be that and that. So you're going to supply these and then $100, $100. Local storage, remote demand. Just hoping this doesn't interact with any other star system and I've set up the settings correctly. And we'll give you some of these straight away. Now, these need to output into something that's going to pick them up. Five of them, in fact. And you're going to be charging is your goal. Now, because it's a run-in sort of thing rather than a sort of thing, we will need splitters to make this work. So output to here, like so. Input, 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 input. We might just yoink a few. Gift to those other ones. And then it's going to output, and we won't need splitters for the output. So it runs in. Give this some power. You know what, you can run as fast as you want to. And then we'll go to the local planet. Smelter. Which is an ice. Smelter 2. Which is an ice-filled jelly-soul, however you pronounce it. Just 2 AU away at the moment, but we will warp there. Because it's a lot faster. Alright, here we are. Now this is going to be one of those times where I wish I had these guys, because they work a lot better to transfer power across long distances. 45-meter connection lengths, although satellite substations will do it. Right, substations, you're up. Oof, we have found a use for you. Now, there's a few bits and pieces here, fire ice being the local rare ingredient, but what I'm really interested in is the titanium ore. So the first thing I'll do is just probably wander around and set up miners on everything that I can find. And once we've set up these miners, we'll set up some logistic stations to basically take everything that we're going to mine on this planet and send it elsewhere. Not going to be anything else locally but mines. At least at this point. Maybe later on we'll come back and we'll turn this into doing something else on this planet. Maybe as a collection point for an eventual Dyson sphere that will go here. Because we'll obviously have taken up most of this, all of the surface of the smelter, so that will be not the greatest place to be picking up things. Power, Dyson power. I was hoping that I could do something with that, but apparently not. That worked. Oh. Local coal reserves. There's always a little bit of coal in store. Which really shouldn't be a thing. I mean, if this thing never had life or trees, then you shouldn't get coal, I'm pretty sure. Unless coal can be formed under other conditions that I'm aware of. We're doing, we've got a few veins of, wait, yeah, you're ready. It's the dreaded autosave. Ooh, yeah, we got a few veins up here. Where is that in relation to me? I think it's down this way. We're looking pretty good on having done everything. Okay, alright, with all those placed down, let's head up to the poles. I feel like the poles are a good place for me to be building this. Is that liquid water. We have liquid water here. I did not expect that on an ice-filled Gelisol. Interesting. Alright. Not that it's, you know, hugely important, it's just unexpected, that's all. So the first thing we want to do is just set up our local power supply, and we're going to do it here. We'll grab our power producing sort of things, run it along like so, and then we'll want our splitters to basically drop the charged batteries off into them. They'll discharge the power from the batteries, and then send it back to our transporter here. So you ain't going more than a light year. You're going to be demanding these in local storage. A percent please, and then you will also want to say local storage remote supply. Let's get you down to only hold 500 at a time. That will work. Now this one actually doesn't need to be powered either. Main concern. We are producing what? Each of them is 45. So 90, 180, not a lot. Not a lot is what we're producing here. So we definitely need more batteries and probably more of a charge discharge sort of system. That's all good though. That's for later. Now the next thing that we're going to do is set up some interstellar logistic stations here. Alright, so this one is going to be a special one, I think. We're going to say within a single light year, you're going to try and collect iron ore, copper, titanium, stone, and silicon. Right, so these will just collect up from the planet. It should collect up all these sort of things and then supply it into our local system. So we'll set them all to local demand is what we want to do. Then we chuck some drones into it. We'll go 100% so we're not wasting power. And then we'll give it some... Do I want logi vessels in it? I'm not sure if I do. I think eventually it's going to need logistics vessels, so... We'll give it some. They're cheap. You can always go grab more. And I'll be annoyed if this doesn't work as planned. Alright, so just use the local power pole. Now, these aren't doing squat at the moment because none of our mining machines are actually powered. So that's the next thing that we need to do, is that we want to start setting up these substations. Ideally as efficiently as possible, but if it's not, that's fine with me. Just to be working around the planet to connect these up. And that could have been better placed. Place it there. Make sure everything's powered. Oh, I thought it was a vein that I hadn't done, but yeah. And the whole point of this, of course, is to then use all this to supply our super smelter. It'll be interesting to know if I brought enough substations here. It does have an idle drain and power, so maybe I'm just really doing the wrong thing here. Especially when I know that power is going to be scarce on this planet for the time being, until I get more batteries into the system and more discharges. Yeah, we'll grab a heap of them. We'll grab a heap of batteries and discharges, charges, and everything that's going to need to keep supply from this planet to be stable. You gonna reach? Find out. Yep. And yeah, it's a bit of a boring bit wandering around, just dropping down substations, I know, but it is necessary to power up what we've done here. Just gonna cruise around, see what. Oh, yeah, we've got a double titanium here. Good, and you can see these drones are all now starting to fly around and collect bits and pieces, so it can be going off planet and collecting and supplying our super smelter in the same solar system. And 15 of these. Hopefully I'll power everything. What's missing? I think you're missing one. Wow. This looks like this planet is undergoing acupuncture. And yeah, we can see the yellow flashy, meaning that we ain't got enough power. Sorry, it just looks a little bit funny. That's all good though. Yeah, aren't you filling up? That's what we want to see. Now, it's not going to be the only logistics station that we chuck down on this planet. I mean, beyond the one that's giving us power at the moment, we're going to chuck another one here. Put you there as well. Oh, did I? Yeah, it's working. It's all good. You're going to have fire ice as your local demand. What else did I do here? So I've done everything up to silicon. And then tell it to demand coal, I guess. But I don't think that's really... We've got a coal mine, is it necessary though? Yeah, I'll tell it to demand it. I might as well. And then it's a remote supply. Now this is the only one that's actually going to go interstellar though, is because I've got nothing really to use fire ice here, so you're gonna remote demand 100 of these, and of course it's going to give you 1,000 because that's just the way that the opposite end works. I'll give you some of these to, and then these to transport them. So it's not going to run for very long to begin with because there's nothing really demanding fire ice at the moment, but later on we do have a factory that does want to use those, and eventually it will run lower on local materials. Now the other thing that we can put down is we've just got 16 solar panels just kind of kicking around our inventory, so we might as well drop those down. They're not going to do much on it in all honesty, but you know, we've got them. I could just delete them, but why not? Why not put them in place? It ain't gonna hurt anything. There we go. Yep, so 88% satisfaction. So we definitely need more power discharges because these are going at their fastest rate, and we're going to need more batteries in the system for this to really work out well. Right, so let's think about this. I wanted to do more stuff at my smelter, and I've certainly got plenty of materials to do that at my smelter. Yeah, we're going to go back to the smelter before we head back to our main base. Hey, start, I said. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so we have a few more things to be building here. Next one is either going to be glass or concrete. Let's do glass, because I know that I'm using it. You down. And we're going to need at least a space of 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, then up. So we get to about here. Yep. Run a line of 15. And a second line of 15. So glass will take 2 to produce 1 every 2 seconds. So we want a rungs of 30 here. Do our inputs from the right again. And then outputs like so. Input, output. Grab it so it's making glass. I think I need to let my drones finish that off before I drag down the last bit. And then instead of substations, we are using good old Tesla towers because they don't take up so much space. They are cheap to build, they don't require idle power. There is good things about Tesla towers, even into the in-game, especially with the blueprint mode, where you can just copy paste everything down. Oh man, I need to fix that. We need you to be slimline, sir. Use now, and then we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 8 rows of it. Then we want a logi station at the other end here. So about there. Probably further out than it needs to be. Right, you're going to want stone, local demand, remote demand. You're also going to want warpers, remote storage. You just need 100 remote demand. We'll give you drones. We'll give you these guys. And power. And your filter will be like that. Connecting in. Right down this other side here. Let's let the factory start finishing off. Set glass, you're gonna need warpers as well. You're a supply only dude, so there's your transport ships. Just gotta finish off the factory. And we have a glass factory now, or glass smelting factory. Oop. Let's chuck it back to the map. Alright, so we're starting to really ramp up here. We've got kind of one of each type at the moment. We just need a concrete one. Oh, the dreaded autosave. We need a concrete one. And then, I'm wondering if I can fit the concrete one in here, because I reckon it'll be smaller. And then I'll be pretty happy that we've got all the patterns we need for smelting. I mean, I'm still thinking about steel, or not, as the case may be. And then it's just a matter of a lot of copy-paste that'll be happening. What was this one? Magnets. Magnets are the biggest template that we run. How are we doing on power? Barely making a scratch. Thanks to artificial science. Alright, let's see if we can sneak in our concrete in here. Right, I think we can. So concrete is just a straight 1-to-1 ratio, so we can do 30. And if we do it up the top here, I think that might be our way to go, right? So, do 15, 15. And input from the right again. It's just a matter of placement of our logistics stations. And then output to the left. You'll be making concrete. very careful with that tropic, because otherwise it'll just screw with my design. When I go to copy paste it, it won't let me. Alright. And we use the good old zoop. So I'm making this into a pattern. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's why we did 8. To be able to fit it all in. Collide with other object. What are we colliding? Oh, damn it. We were this close. One copper vein will not stop me. Ha 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 ha. Alright. So from here we want to then grab a logistics station in here. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be the prettiest. Put it up the top. And then it can also go up the top around the other side. It's just going to be far enough away from the advanced mining station to be able to be placed. That's not great for a repeatable blueprint. Damn you, sir. Damn your eyes. Oh, good. We'll deal with it. I don't think really concrete is something that I'll need to copy paste all that much anyway, so I'm a little bit more blasé about that one than anything else. Getting to the point where we're starting to run low on materials. That seems to have worked out fairly well for us. Connect up power, that will connect everything I need. Wander on down here. Complete it. And you're gonna remote supply concrete, yep. Also going to need warpers, but not that many of them. Give you some of these, that's all I've got left. this one's just going to be annoying. There we are. Alright, we've got a good supply of concrete going on now. And that's everything that we need constructed on this planet to be constructed, right? We have all of our base materials, except for energetic graphite, and I'm not sure I actually want to do that here. I think we've got other ways to produce graphite, mainly through oil production sort of situations. Pretty sure somewhere there's a byproduct of X-ray cracking. And that would actually be infinite production of energetic graphite too. So having said that, I might eat my words at some point. I don't know. But we can always just do a dirty smelter. Entire planet devoted to creating graphite. That could be fun. Anyway, so with that in hand, what we have here is a series of blueprints that we want to create. So before we go anywhere else, what I might do is delete a few of these ones that we won't be using anymore. Blue fracking I'll keep. We'll get rid of some of these smelter rows. Radiant motors we might keep around. And we've got another smelter line here. Yeah, we'll just leave those. Alright. And then we'll go to a good old blueprint mode and we're going to create a few blueprints. So this one is silicon, or high purity silicon. And so we're going to tell it to grab all of this. I think it has, yeah, good. Yeah, it's skipped over this, which is good, the minor. Then we're going to say high purity silicon block. Right, save. Okay, and then we'll quit the mode. Then we'll go back to it, do a new cut. We'll do a copper smelting block here. Copper smelting block. Save. Quit mode. Go to this. Oh, no. Go back to it. Cut. What's this? Titanium. I want to make sure I'm getting those top power poles as well. There we are. Titanium. Smelting block. Say blueprint. And we'll go again. We get those top ones, I'm not sure. We'll just make sure. Yep. Glass smelting block. Say blueprint. Smelting. Ah, the typos are real. And we'll wander along and do the magnets. Now the magnets, I actually don't want this top one as well. That was a mistake. So we're just going to try and keep those out of the picture here. We do need to make sure that we get these top power in. And we can get rid of you. How do I remove? Yeah, it's alright. Doesn't matter. Actually, it will. It will matter. Reset. So we'll try and place it down, and it'll be a real pain. I'm doing it in tight situations. Grab that. Yep, it looks like we've got those. Cool. So blueprint. And then the final one. There might be a more efficient way to save these, by the way, I don't know. And we just want to grab these guys here. And iron smelting block. Say blueprint. Now that we've done that, let's fill out this planet, shall we? So, one thing I definitely do want is another titanium smelting block. So let's chuck down one of those. We might as well keep it close to the existing one. I don't see a reason not to. And so we'll just do that. And you can see from these white bits that I'm immediately running out. Now, titanium is one of those things that is a little bit slower to produce, and we're using lots of them, so we might even put down 2. It's too close to another logistics station, so we'll just try and run that out a little bit further. So here, yeah, I'll accept that. Brilliant. Alright, so there's another 2 down. I feel like iron will be one of those things that we want another one of as well. So let's just see if we can find a place to park this. Oh, that's trippy. We might be able to... Oh yeah, so if we didn't have those mines anymore, then that would work, but we do, so it won't. Might be able to chuck it down here. There we go. Too close to an advanced mining machine. Come on, man, give me a break. Damn it. Yeah, too close. Do a little bit further. A little bit further. There we go. Right, so we might do another of the magnet. I feel like those magnets are big and we should probably place them now. Sooner rather than later. Too close? Yeah, thought so. Too close. There we go. There's another magnet one. You're seeing how this is all coming together now? Now that we've done all the hard work of setting up each flavor, as it were, all it's a matter of is of just putting down the blueprints. Let's do another copper one. Copper smelting block. There we are. Now we might put that down near our iron one down here. Get it in there, too close. There we go. Blueprint. I feel like another copper high purity silicon might be not go awry. Awry is the word? Yeah, I think pretty sure. That's the word that I'm looking for. Now we're not going to quite fill in things here, so it doesn't matter if I just kind of chuck it in a little bit in the middle here. That'll be okay. There's another high purity silicon. And you know what? Why not do two? Why not? Maybe another glass factory. One thing I haven't actually set up is crystal silicon, so I've got to make sure I leave enough space for that. Could do another diamonds. Did I? Oh, I didn't copy paste the diamond. That is a rather special recipe. Yeah, we're still going to do it though. Why not? While I'm around as well, I might just fly around and let these just drones start doing their thing. Alright, so we want cut mode. This is our diamonds, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Special diamond smelting block. Save. Use now. And we'll chuck down another one of these guys. Where can we fit you? I reckon in here. Too close? We will do it. Yeah! So what's going to happen next is I'm going to turn into a glorified mule, and I'll need to fly back to home base, grab a whole heap of components, then fly back here and just let these drones do their thing. Then fly back to home base, grab even more components, because I don't think I'm going to be able to carry everything I need in my inventory. Quite possibly I won't have everything I need in my my mall. And then it's going to be kind of going back and forth like that for a while. But when we get to the end of this, we should have mammoth amounts of stuff being able to be processed through this planet, smelted up, ready for export to factories. And then if you really wanted to, you could actually copy paste the entire planet. That is an actual thing. Probably when you went to a new planet, you'd need to foundation out all the raw materials, so that doesn't get in your way, but it is an ability that you do have limitless blueprints where you can just say, I want this planet to look like this one, and boom. Takes a while to build everything, of course. We'll build what we can. I know that's not a lot left at the moment, but we might as well put down these logistic stations. Pardon me. Oh yeah, we got a greenie over here. Do we have anything up here? No. Alright, I think it's just a matter of going and getting the goods. We've done most of this planet in some kind of thing. Awesome. So let's set course for home. We're doing on warpers and power, that sort of thing. Yeah, we've got plenty of them. Always a good idea to check that you've got those, because otherwise it is a very long trip to get between star systems. That was trippy. Now there's Earth there. Here we are back at our main base. So this little thing up the top here functions as a bit of a shopping list for us. It was saying we need 12,000 belts, 3,500 sorters, 457 Tesla poles, and 1,837 of the arc smelters. So let's go shopping. I feel like it's one of those game shows. Let's go shopping, and you know, here's all the prizes that you won't win. We're gonna expand this out now. We're gonna need as much as possible, sir. We might upgrade you as well, so that you can hopefully keep up with your demand here. And I realize I just don't have all those sorters because I will have used them all. Alright, that's 900. That's 1800. That's 2700. How many do we need? Let's just grab them all. I wanted 450 odd, didn't I? Make you a full thing. Feel like upgrading you too now, man. We need 3,500. That's 1,000, 2,000, 3,200. I'm not sure I appreciated just how mega this project was. That's all good though. I'm kind of happy that we're doing something big. Now, I was going to try and upgrade these inputs as well, so it kind of has a chance of building as fast as I need it to build. Alright, so it's not going to be near enough smelters, but there's another 50 for us. So we can take over there and then continue to build in the background, of course, while we're not around. Aren't you keeping up? Righto. We will want a chunk of these though. Oh, maybe not that many. I don't know. There we go. We're definitely going to want a chunk of these. And I wanted more batteries for my system. I'm supplying power to the local mining sort of area. I think the other thing that I wanted was more power charge discharge stations wherever they might live. Ah, there it is. That should do us. Alright, we've filled up on materials, so that will help us get started while our mall restocks for us. We can head back to Smelter and the Smelter. Actually, we're going to go to the outskirts first. We're going to go to Smelter 2 to just kind of top up that local system of discharges and batteries. As well, we've got belts that won't be immediately claimed by the blueprints. Now, Dyson Sphere continues to be under construction. Are we still getting rockets coming in there? Let's just look at the local. Yeah, we're still launching flocks of rockets. So it's still building stuff. That's good. Cool. Just wanted to check that before we headed off. And we'll go to walk. Can certainly do with some more EM rail ejectors though, because that's going to be the limiting factor on that particular Dyson Sphere. Yeah, or its construction anyway. Am I here already? Yep, I am. Cool, so we're going to run this along further. 4, 5, that's another 5 of those guys. And that'll help. Grab our splitters. Good, good, good. Say that you're happy to have 1,000. You're happy to have 1,000. Now I'm just going to dump these in here and then they can take care of that. That's really all we needed to do there. Now we will head to the smelter. to the South Pole before anything else, and before our drones start using up all my belts to construct things. And the South Pole is where we've got that, that power conversion sort of thing happening. So we grab these ones and we go one. Oh, really? Can we just plus it out? Can we work it out, guys? Can we not work it out? And there we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll have the same sort of settings that we want. Grab our splitters. 2. That's not quite where I wanted you. Ah, that's interesting. You can see the outlines through the planet. Alright, run you down like so. Cool. Run along to here. Just change some things so you can now have 1,000. You can accept 1,000. It seems our local logistics station transport vessels are all being made use of. But yeah, okay, something's picking up a chunk of batteries that we dropped off at the last place, and we'll be bringing them into the system soon. So we can get those batteries charged up and on their way, and something has picked up those batteries as well, which is great. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so we'll wander up here. Just let it start building. This is the game on easy mode. Now, while I'm here, you'll note that it's already got all the settings copied across. The only thing it doesn't have is whatever you choose to fill it up with. So, for example, I'll want to give this its own logistics drones, as well as the vessels. That's about the only thing that doesn't come across in blueprints. All the actual settings of the logistics stations will, which is great, because it just saves so much fiddling around. All you need to do is fill them up with the stuff that they need to transport things around with. As you can tell, we are not powered here as well, so I'm just gonna reach out and do that. My drone. Get this party started. And immediately it's spilling out saying, yeah, I want your materials. Give me your diamonds. Excellent, alright. One of the massive blueprints done. Let's move on to the next one. While we're sitting here, we'll give you your drones. Or vessels. They're not drones. There we go, we got got a silicon one under construction. Good, good. Need silicon. It's an important thing. Crystal silicon you just need to get. Oh yeah. Particle broadband as well as accumulators. So we won't be using that much crystal silicon at the moment. So it's okay that we don't have a smelter for it. We'll need one eventually. But it's not super urgent. And we'll be using the special resource for that, the spiniform version. Now our local logi station down here is this one, and we're going to give it some drones to collect the local silicon, and we're going to give it some vessels to go get non-local silicon later on. Sure I don't miss bits. Looks like we actually need a little power connector here as well. We'll go make sure that gets done. Right, the next thing we'll move it on to is this one down here, which is iron bars. Give us some transport vessels. Something I already filled that up too, that's been interesting. I just sit here and let it run. Iron ore out. We also want to just wander up here, make sure that these kind of get connected. There we are, got power. And we'll go up to this one next. Give it its logistic vessels. Logistics, I should say. Something's connecting power, that's good. Slowly running down the supplies of stuff that I've got in my inventory here. Right over here, give that some of these and some of these. It's already filled up on silicon somehow as well. Something has to be supplying it. Here it can supply itself though. Oh, we should probably finish off this as well. While I'm around. Apparently we are completely out of smelters. Again. It's alright, we'll let our drones still belt up everything. And that'll give our mole some time to construct more smelters for us. So that ideally, we won't have to come back and do it again. Here comes the autosave. It'll just make my computer think for a few seconds. Highly recommend spacing out the autosave once you start getting closer towards the end game. Finish off this please, drones. Okay, we might go up to this one next. I just want to make sure that I'm supplying them all with the logistics they'll need. Rather than forgetting something like this. This could have been a forgotten thing. Quite easily could have been forgotten. Locals and transport. I swear something enemy ended up with a lower amount as well. Hey, why don't you have power? No reason that should happen. You know, maybe it was you. Yeah, there we are. Oh well, since we're around, just in the neighborhood, thought I'd drop by. Looking good. Looking like everything's got stuff. And we'll just wait for our drones to catch up and they can keep placing belts and sorters. And power pals, of course. that chunk done. I guess we'll go down here. Park myself in the middle here for a bit. See how this is starting to shape up as a visual kind of spectacle. Yeah, you can certainly tell the active smelters from just the amount of transport vessels that are wandering around trying to pick up, and it seems to be the titanium transport areas that, or titanium smelting areas that are really needing stuff at the moment. Surprised that these aren't getting more. Must be all oil all over at the other place. Wander over here and let those belts build up. Oh, we're out of belts. Alright, well, I think then that will be a good time. Actually, we can do one final thing. We can do the sorters here. Sorters and towers. Because I had almost the correct number of sorters that I would need. Pretty sure I was very close to the amount of towers that I would need as well, so. Now back in the day, when this game first came out on early access, then you had to place everything by hand. There were no blueprints. Can you imagine doing that? Oh man, you just wouldn't be. These would be handcrafted works of love to be able to do anything approaching this scale. So blueprint mode, a very good call. The blueprints seem to work pretty well as well. I'll say for that, for it as well. They are easy to use. There's a few things around the tropics, the differences there, which can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, but by and large, all pretty good, really. Alright, start slowing down a bit so we can point out where we're going. Here we are, that's where we want to be. Hello, Earth. We're back. We're back to steal. Oh god, the frames. No. Oh man, that's the lowest I've gotten. There is a lot happening here, I guess. And there's a lot happening elsewhere now as well, so that's probably kicking back the frame per second a little bit. Alright, but we definitely need all the smelters we can get. Oh, hang on. You're not running because you ain't got no magnetic coils anymore. You ain't got anything because you ain't got no copper. We have a copper shortage. This is not something I really thought would ever happen. Why is that? Because this is very slowly producing anything. Alright, well, fortunately we have a solve for this. We have a very good solution indeed, which is logistic stations. And our super smelter can start, you know, doing stuff. Now, I just need a space to put this. There we are. There will be fine. You're going to want some warpers. Local demand of that. Remote storage. Remote demand that up. I'll give you some transport vessels. I'll even let you supply locally. Oh. You know what? Let's just do that. And you also need some belts. It's alright, because I need some belts too. And you can supply copper. That will help us immensely. Thank you. Now it may end up importing other stuff as well. Could be concrete, could be glass, but for the time being, it is importing our very necessary supplies of copper. And yeah, we're going to have a whole heap coming in. Starting to run through the system now. Lovely. That'll make everything start working again. Good, 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 good. How many do we need? 61. We'll just grab 4. That should be everything we need for a while. We'll grab 4 of those. Maybe 5 actually, now that I think on it. 3.5. Yeah, I don't think we've got enough belts, but... Is there anything slowing this down in particular? Nope. It's working as fast as it can. Nice if it proliferated instead, but that you can't have everything. I think it's the first time in a long time that I've run out of belts. I'll think about upgrading that setup. Maybe. What else do we need? Yeah, these guys, obviously. Right. Well, while that's constructing, let's think about something else, because I think I'm going to need a little bit more before I head back to that planet. That thing that I want to think about is our white science production. We have an excess of antimatter now, so we should be starting to think about getting onto our final part of the game. Now for this, I'm going to need a few bits and pieces. I'm going to need iron. We want to build a chunk of these, basically. So I'm going to go around and just grab directly from sources some of the things I'll need here. Chunk of glass. You had iron as well, didn't you? Yeah. Chunk of... Normally I wouldn't build in inventory, but it's just these things where it's, you know, kind of ridiculous to build a whole factory built around, based around them, and when you're not going to produce that many in the game. $69. That's going to take me through to the end of the game, I reckon. Alright, so these white science dudes are going to require all different types of science, plus antimatter. So we do have a local logistics station. Unfortunately, it's taken up by other stuff, so we will need a final one in the mix here. Let's put it there. Now, where our white science ends up going, we might kind of slot it in here. So we've got to think about where we're going to put everything. Right, so if I take the green science, that's got an opportunity here to try and run this over if we can. No. Maybe you can. Yeah. You can as well? No. Oh, actually, you don't need to. I'm gonna build my white science production somewhere around here. Alright, so if I do that, got a tower here. Right, you're at maximum height now, you're producing that. So you need everything to do it. So we will put a sorter here, sorter here. Sorter here, sorter here. Alright, so that's purple, red. We need green going in as well. So I've got a green snake here. Right. What have I missed? Antimatter. Cool. Alright, so antimatter will come in from this direction. And we really want to proliferate it. Because antimatter is expensive to produce. So we'll wrap you around like so. And then it will produce out this way. Now, the only thing I haven't proliferated, I think, is our yellow science, because it kind of does that. So I'm wondering if I really don't want that one to be there. Instead, I think I want it to run back around. After it's been proliferated. and we have white science being produced now. Now we need to get that white science into these guys, and we need to proliferate it as well. So we have the option for proliferation here, I think. So let's put down the machine that we'll need. As being here. I'm going to tell it to go directly in. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Going back down. Running along like so. If I'm not mistaken, I should therefore be able to do... No! I was mistaken. That's alright. Just move some things. Be able to do that. Yep. We can do that. And then that. Excellent. It's got power on the proliferator, yep. Which means our output we just do... Hey. Oh, don't you do that to me. I know you can do it. Rude! But if I went like that, you'd be... Oh no, it wouldn't be fine. Much better. Hey, that's better. We has white sciences. Now, of course, when I was gonna put it down to say, you know, when we're not researching it, then we're gonna want to store it up. But I'm not sure that we will, because I don't think there'll be a point where we actually kind of need to store it up for any other purpose. I think that's it, right? Once we've done all our white science research, then that's all we need to do. How long does it take to produce these things? Every 15 seconds. So they're a little bit faster than, say, the green science to produce, which is good. We could probably use another tower of it, but I'm just happy to get some starting to tick along. I'm not in any particular rush to finish the game, because we could just rush it to the end, mission completed, but that's not what we want to do. What I am thinking though is just a few extra drones will really help. Apologies there, folks. We had a small streaming problem. Yep, small network option. Not sure where I got to, so I'll repeat what I was kind of saying. I'm happy that we've got, you know, the start of our white science, and we're going to go with communication control and drone engines being the first two things that we want to do. And from there, I was weighing up our various options, etc. I'm thinking the first level of integrated logistics could actually be kind of really useful. Then I think we want to go with veins utilization, and research speed is not really a big deal. I think that's going to be last. And then we might go with ray transmission efficiency, make our Dyson spheres even better. Then we might go power, speed, mecha core. Oh, that's really basic. Oh, yep, our Q is fuel. Full. Sorry, not fuel. Excellent. Okay, so that's got white science starting. Really basic. White science starting, I should say. It's not going all that fast. We really could use a second tower, I suspect, but I just spaghettied it to even get to this point. Just looking at this, thinking, oh, do I really want to try and work out a second tower of this? And yeah, can't be bothered. We can clear up some space as well here. It's always a good idea. If nothing else, it's going to help with performance issues. And yeah, that's the last of our local steel smelting, basically. Cut it there. Get rid of you guys. You don't even need to be there. Alright, but let's see what has been able to be produced smelter-wise in the background. Yeah, we'll grab those. Thank you very much. Gonna get rid of that researchy bits. Get rid of these excess glass. I don't really need it. Might seem like a waste, but probably more effort to go find the boxes where they could be useful than to just dump it on the ground and recycle it all. Now I'm pretty sure I needed more belts as well, so we'll just see what we've got available. And yeah, I think it's a good time to return to the planet of the apes. Not really. Or rather, the planet of the smelter. That is being in Smolder. Head there, lift off into orbit. And once we finish this off, I think that'll be it for us, this Arvo. It's been a decent length of a stream. In fact, if I just check back at OBS, yeah, we've been going for a bit over 2 hours now. Oh, hang on. Got to point in the right direction. Could have just blasted off into anywhere, really. Here we are. And we might as well just go with the closest. I think I've done all the logistics vessels stuff that I need to. Ah, yeah, these ones are doing these funky little bits that don't need to be there. Let it be magnets. And these things are giant. While I'm around, let's just make sure that gets some power. Come on, drones. Thanks. Fortunately, this last bit is a little bit quicker because we've done a whole heap of it. Just with the belts and the sorters already down, so it's just emptying out the remaining smelters in my inventory. Hopefully we will have enough in the inventory just to finish off this last bit. I'll be very disappointed if we're like 3 short or something like that. Probably could have counted. Yep, we're more than 3 short. What else we got? We got belts to be made. Yeah. That looks very psychedelic. Hopefully we'll be able to... Nah, we're not even going to have enough belts for this. The temptation to just let the computer run a little bit so it builds up the mole for us, and then to come back just outside stream and finish this off. The temptation is big. Oh look, we just missed one, really? Pretty happy with our super smelter though. I mean, it's not even complete. This is like half of it. Is it? That's just, yeah, it's a bit more than half the planet covered, but still. I mean, these bits will be a bit tricky because they've all got veins, so until they've been drawn down, then it's a bit harder to chonk in the smelting blocks, but this is a busy little place as well. It's got plenty of logistics drones going around the place. Certainly our iron's been drawn down a fair bit. It's good, it's what we want to see, but I think that is a good place to make the cut, so to speak. Because all we're doing at the moment is, oh my god, look at it. If I click this and leave it on, that's just hurts the eyes, right? You are getting very sleepy. Very sleepy. Because you're just watching drones place things down. Okay. This is where we're going to make the cut, people. We're going to cut it off here. I might spend some time and just let the computer run a little bit to build up what's in our mole. and then run back here and just finish it off, so that we're not watching something hugely boring as we're, basically flesh out the copy pastes. But I'm pretty happy with the progress that we managed to make today. We have basically patterned out our super smelter. We've still got a little bit more to cover, but I actually want the veins to be depleted a little bit more, I think, before we finish it off 100%, because otherwise it just seems wasteful at the moment to not make use of those resources. We're talking millions here. So let's talk about, before we go, plans for the future streams. So where we're sitting at the moment is that we have Smolder as well as with the Smelter and Smolder 2 basically supplying us with a chunk of raw resources. We also have Big Brain here where the Dyson Sphere is nearing completion. The main thing that seems to be lacking at the moment is solar sails to flesh it out. If you haven't joined us before, then these are empty spaces are deliberate. We're going to have a Dyson swarm in the middle as well as one on the outside. You can see where um, those are kind of feeding in. So it's deliberate so you can see through into it. That's kind of the idea. Then we have this bottom patch with little chunky bits here, as well as a top patch with chunky bits. Although I think we're in the editor that this is the bottom and that's the top. But anyway, that's counter rotating, so it's rotating in a different direction. And then a little bit of the structural support things that you'll be able to see counter rotating to just kind of give that that patchy look to it. So it's designed to look patchy, but also to show off what's in the middle, I guess. And then these top bits. So we might flesh out the last of the frame material that needs to go in for this section here in the next stream. Then that'll naturally launch off the rockets necessary. But apart from that, that'll mean that all of our rocket launching necessary for this particular Dyson Sphere will be done. So we'll have our first completed Dyson Sphere at Big Brain, which will guarantee our supply of antimatter, which will be necessary for our research and necessary for our power production. And that will be fantastic, but that's really the start of what we want to do. Now we want to take this out to the Milky Way view, and yeah, have many Dyson Spheres. So once we have that underway and the finished design kind of done, pardon me, then we'll be looking at construction of our second Dyson Sphere. And our second Dyson Sphere is going to go out here to Arrakis. Specifically, we're going to be building it on the planet named Dune here, which is a Gobi type planet, it's not desert, but it's almost desert. So now the reason why we're choosing Arrakis and Dune is because this particular type of star has a high luminosity, so it can produce a lot of power for us. It also has plenty of planets around it, so I can set up. This is a bit of a manufacturing base. I think Arrakis will become a manufacturing powerhouse, even though it's kind of on the outskirts of everything. It does have plenty of planets as well as, volcanic ash. It's got a local source of acid. And if we build a Dyson Sphere here, that'll be all the power we need to be able to turn this into a big kind of set of factory planets. What sort of factory planets? Well, what I'm thinking here is that it needs to be our one step up materials at a minimum. So we're talking lots and lots of magnetic coils, we're talking lots and lots of gear, we're talking lots and lots of plasma exciters, lots and lots of prisms, and so on and so forth. So because we'll have 5 planets, it won't just be the basics. So what it might be is one planet will focus on a bit of the basics, the next one might do a step up where it's using combinations. So we might have an electric motor, solely just electric motor sort of factory, and so on and so forth. That's the plan, is to really make that into basically a factory system, all powered by a high-powered sun. How well that works, I don't know. I really don't know how well that is going to work or not, and that's partially why I'm doing it as well. But we won't be using it to produce any kind of buildings. That'll stay in the mole at our main planet at Earth. It'll be just solely the component items that we need to continue to power our Dyson Sphere builds, and to make that as quickly as and smooth as possible. Now, as a result, we'll be yoinking a lot more out of the home factory. That's going to bring its own problems as well, and we're going to need to beef up the logistics of the stuff that does go into Earth, that does go into our electronics factory, into our forge world here, but that's partially why I built this smelter to begin with, is to really get us started off with having a really good supply of the basics, and then um, to that way, if we ever need to top up what that outputs, we can just do it by basically setting up mines, and away we go. So, for example, Zybel doesn't have a lot going for it. Eventually, it will have a Dyson Sphere, but mostly it's just going to turn into a mining factory. Actually, Zybel's does have a gas giant. It has more than I thought it does, actually. So let's just zoom out. Oh, come on. Let me just select the star now, please. If I put you to view, then yeah, there we are. Might just keep the label on, because you're quite close by to Smelter, not that far away, so you could be a good source of materials. Mind you, Atlas has that as well. It's got a whole heap of special materials too. And it was what I had in my head for maybe a factory sort of thing, but ultimately it doesn't have the high luminosity sun, so that's where I started looking. Okay, what's our high looms one? And Stonovan was also a contender, but it's only got one planet in addition to its gas giant. So yeah, the B-type stars ended up being, the O-type stars ended up being, alright, that's where we can get the most power, so that's where we should build stuff. It also does make it a little bit closer to the neutron star here, which is good because we can get unipolar magnets from it, as well as the black hole here, which you can also get unipolar magnets. So that will be useful where we go to set up pink dumbbells with the special recipe. But that's where we're going to leave it for the time being. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed us going through and building up this massive smelting planet to fill our needs for the future of our Dyson Sphere production. I've had a good time doing it. It's been interesting seeing so many things required in the queue here, but that's only going to get worse. We have also, of course, made up our first white science, and we're just ticking off on the last of the research here. They're slowly ticking away, which is great. And yeah, I will see you in the next stream. So thanks again for watching. If you liked it, if you want to see more, drop me a follow. If you didn't, then don't do that. Run away quickly. But hopefully I will see everyone in the next stream. See yas.